Yeah, welcome to session 3 of the or tutorial number 3, Wing Chun DC. Today I wanted to look at it's another video. I'm going to analyze another video today, not of myself but of somebody else, and doing Chi Sao, and I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like about what they are doing. So in the video here is I'm going to go back to the beginning here, but this is a very respected Sifu. He's from the UK actually. He's a guy called Samuel Kwok. He is, I believe, he's one of the I can't remember what his lineage is, but I believe it's he has a very direct lineage to Yip Man, who's the founder of Wing Chun. I believe he trained with his son, Ip Chun. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, I've met some of Samuel Kwok's students. I've trained with some of them. Good fighters, a lot of very aggressive style that they utilize. I remember we're doing Chi Sao. So anyway, I'm going to tell you what I like and what I don't like about what I'm seeing here. So he's doing a seminar here. And I'll let it roll, and then I'll jump in and talk about it and replay bits to kind of illustrate the points I'm making. Okay, so you'll notice this is how most people start doing Chi Sao, right? So he's making a point here that your Chi Sao should be, if you see the mouse, the Chi Sao should be your elbows in, and rather than having your elbows out and flying all over the place. So that is good. But you'll spot a couple of flaws here, at least from my perspective. The first one being that the guy he's doing Chi Sao with, and Samuel Kwok himself, there is no forward pressure from either of them. Both of them are simply standing in place and rolling their arms. So therefore, the Chi Sao, it's going to be very limited in what you can achieve from practicing it like this, in my opinion. Okay, so we'll keep going. So the rolling hands, right? So okay, you see they go from top to the with Samuel Kwok's left hand, he's covering this guy in the white shirt's right arm. He's doing what's called a futsal. He's following the hand up and down, and he's rolling from tan. That's a tan sao there. If you can see along the white guy in the white shirt doing a tan sao, he rolls to a bong sao. Now he's in bong sao, and he rolls to tan sao. So that's kind of what you do in Chi Sao. And then you'll see on the other arm it's the opposite. So okay, and then Kwok has punched him there, so he's found a space and punched him. See it do it again. So again, just to look at this arm rolls from tan sao to bong sao. Oh, he's explaining something here. Yeah, so he's saying like he got in, he was able to land the punch because his elbow came out, and he then shot his punch. So that he's telling him to keep his elbow in. I agree with that. Okay. So they're rolling again. So there he's pinning his arms and then hitting him in the chest. I mean, as an isolated technique, yeah, it's fine. But when there's no pressure coming at Samuel Kwok, you can pull those kind of moves off. Then all they're doing really is training sensitivity and arm positioning, which is fine. And you can see that Samuel Kwok has he's a fast guy, and he's got quick hands, and he can clearly punch pretty hard. So he's making the guy, like, he's finding holes in the guy's structure, in the white shirt structure. So they're now going over Chi Sao variations, how you can roll Chi Sao, then build combinations. That's Lap Sao. He pulled his arm down. Let me push that again. So he pulls his arm down and strikes. That's Lap Sao with a strike. Again, very easy to pull off on someone who's not resisting properly, who's not giving you any forward resistance. That's a sweep. Good looking sweep. So this is Samuel Kwok's defending here a back fist or a chop. And he's using... So if you look at that again, this whole exercise, when the white shirt guy is punching, he's not actually putting any real forward pressure on him again. So Samuel Kwok can look pretty cool when he's doing this demonstration. So again, it's hard to get a reading of really how good his Chisao is, because it looks great against a non-resistant opponent and someone who's throwing punches who's not actually trying to hit him. Again, it's very difficult to tell whether Kwok's Chisao or works under pressure. Okay, so here we go, he's switching partner. So they're rolling again, they're going back into, this guy's putting zero pressure on him, absolutely nothing. They're just rolling their arms. He's kind of moving forward again, but the guy in the what colour shirt that is, let's call it like a red shirt, purple red shirt, he's putting limited, he's not really actually trying to hit him, he's throwing punches and walking forward, but there's very little intent, and then Samuel Kwok can kind of work his techniques. He's got quite quick hands, the guy with purple. You can see Kwok does have some skill, clearly, like he's got fast hands. But again, the problem with this is everyone's got fast hands when they're standing in place. You know, you can tee off on someone and look really cool. The real test of skill, at least in my opinion, is can you do that when someone's applying forward pressure? So I like some aspects of this. He's telling the guy in the red shirt to relax his arms, and then the punches will come, they will flow more naturally, and I think that's absolutely correct. When you do Chisao, you definitely don't want to be tight. When you're tight, then the punches don't flow properly. So he's telling the guy to relax, and it will allow him to feel when the punches can be thrown, as opposed to trying to force the punches, that's really, really important. You don't want to ever force punches in Wing Chun. You want to let the punches come when there's a space, when there's an opening. So now Samuel Kwok is actually seemingly putting forward pressure on him, which is, I don't know what he's doing there. They're backing up. So again, that was an absolute no-no in our way of doing things. If you look at this, Samuel Kwok, he drops his, look, can you see here? So he's dropped his left arm, that he's put his arm down by his side. So he's no longer protecting his center line. You can get away with this if someone's not putting pressure on you. If someone's not putting significant pressure on you or firing meaningful punches at you, you can do this kind of stuff. So he is looking, again, like, there's a lot of the problems I have with a lot of Wing Chun styles is that they, the demonstrations look a bit like this, and it doesn't really give you a realistic perspective on fighting. So you can see again, really quick hands. He can fire those shots really fast. So he's, there's definitely skill level here. So bus pass? I don't know what that was. So now he's going to put a blindfold on himself. Okay. And he's going to do Chisao blindfolded, I think. So yeah, again, we see quick hands. So again, when there's a little threat, you can be super relaxed and put one of your hands down. But again, you know, he's quick, Samuel Kwok, and I think he's good. Going in, forward pressure, that's good. Again, but no forward pressure coming at him. The guy's just putting his hands up, trying to defend himself. There's not really much. He's not really trying to put any forward pressure on him. There's very little concept of correct structure for the guy in the purple, or really Samuel Kwok. I feel that Samuel Kwok has a lot of, maybe he's an older guy, but he's clearly quite a quick guy. He's probably had, he was quite a good athlete. It seems so. He's kind of getting away here with a lot of athleticism, and again, because there's not much coming back, you don't really get to see much as to his true skill level. Although from what you can, he does, you can see that he's definitely done a lot of training. Again, looks cool, but you can't. There's nothing coming at him. There is 0 forward pressure coming from him. So this is a lot of the reason why a lot of MMA people don't take Wing Chun seriously, because they don't apply forward pressure. There's no connection. There's no body-to-body connection. And Samuel Kwok is a big, fast guy. So he is, he's making it look pretty good. And then this is another thing that I don't like so much, is Samuel Kwok is moving around. So if you look at this, he moves his feet around while striking him. Okay, so that means that the strikes then don't have much power when he's using these strikes, because you're moving around, and every time you pick your feet up, you're not planted to the floor, and therefore you can't really actually generate much leverage for your punches. So that's something I don't like. But it's, I have to say his hands are fast and accurate. Okay, look here. This is something. If you look at his Samuel Kwok's elbow, look, see how he's crossed his own centre line. Samuel Kwok's crossed his own centre line, so he's pushing the guy's arm away. That for us is a no-no, because you're not trying to go in. You're not trying to put forward pressure or not go forward or try to punch. And also the structure. There's a lot of, because there's no pressure, he's not bothering much with structure. So if you look, there's an arch in his back here like that. There's lots of arches here. There's lots of curves in his structure, which means that he wouldn't really be able to take much forward pressure like this. And he's been doing this throughout the G-cell session. Very little connection to the floor. He's not really conscious of it at all. And he's relying on his athleticism to generate power. Moving his feet. Really, he has got impressive hand kind of dexterity. So anyway, that's the end of the video. This. I'm not using this to kind of bash other Wing Chun practitioners, but I want you guys to look at this stuff and kind of objectively and kind of see what what you should be focusing on. And what a lot of the times you can look at other people's mistakes and see what they're doing wrong, and that you can learn from that. So I've spent a lot of time going through a lot of Wing Chun videos, looking at them and analysing them, and looking at kind of what are the mistakes that they're making, and what would they be open to. If someone was actually applying proper pressure and intent. And aggression, and if someone's bigger and stronger than them. So if in this video, neither of the guys were applying forward pressure, and neither of them were physically imposing or trying to create problems for him. So therefore, it's very difficult to see kind of, how good he is. I've heard he is good. I've heard many things that he was a good fighter, and he's actually very quick. His Chisao is really good. But again, having not touched hands with him myself, I don't know. But I'm just trying to give an honest appraisal of what I see when I look at it. So anyway, I hope that was useful, guys. I'll have another video out for you tomorrow, and be well, and see you then.